January 2006, Los Angeles. Inside the Staples Center, the lights burn white and unforgiving. The air feels heavy, thick with anticipation. During warm-ups, a single basketball echoes against the polished hardwood floor. Every bounce sounds deliberate. Every movement feels measured. On the sideline, defenders are already watching. Their bodies tense. They know what's coming. They just don't know how to stop it. This moment mattered because it captured Kobe Bryant at the absolute height of his powers. This wasn't about potential. It wasn't about promise. It was about pure, undeniable control. The NBA had seen great scorers before, but this was something different. This was inevitability. Before Kobe, dominance usually followed a predictable pattern. Shaquille O'Neal overwhelmed you with sheer size and power. Michael Jordan punished you with explosive athleticism and elevation. Scorers attacked systems. But Kobe attacked people. He entered the league in 1996 as an 18-year-old kid, raw and completely fearless, drafted 13th overall straight out of high school. At the time, that was still a controversial choice. The NBA he stepped into was physical, territorial, and unforgiving. Hand-checking was legal. The lane was a crowded, brutal place. Veterans tested rookies relentlessly, trying to break them. Early on, expectations for Kobe were mixed. Some saw arrogance. Others saw an ambition that bordered on obsession. His own coaches expected flashes of brilliance, not sustained control. Analysts predicted he'd be inconsistent. The league believed that time would eventually humble him. Instead, it sharpened him into a weapon. Kobe's childhood was spent in Italian gyms, where fundamentals mattered more than fame. Footwork, balance, repetition. While other kids in America relied on speed or size, Kobe was learning angles. He was learning patience. By the early 2000s, after winning 3 championships alongside Shaq, his game started evolving into something colder, more precise. The symbolic object of his dominance wasn't a thunderous dunk or a flashy crossover. It was his footwork, invisible yet completely unavoidable. Each pivot, each jab step, each fadeaway carried a deep sense of intention. It wasn't speed that defeated defenders, it was sequence. Defenders and coaches tried everything. They studied hours of film. They memorized his tendencies. They sent double teams early. Then they sent them late. Then they sent them from unexpected angles on the floor. None of it worked. Kobe adjusted within a single possession. He had counters for their counters. He anticipated resistance and simply moved right through it. The statistical evidence tells the story in black and white. Between 2003 and 2007, Kobe averaged over 30 points per game, peaking at an incredible 35.4 in the 2005-06 season. That's the highest scoring average since Michael Jordan himself. That same season included his legendary 81-point performance against the Toronto Raptors, a feat he achieved not through chaos but through cold, hard precision, jumpers, footwork, balance. What truly stunned the league wasn't just the scoring. It was how little defensive schemes seemed to matter against him. Long defenders struggled because Kobe created separation with impeccable timing. Shorter defenders failed because he simply shot over them with his elevation and perfect balance. Double teams always seemed to arrive a split second too late or too early. Zone defenses dissolved under his patient, surgical attacks. Even elite All-NBA defenders found themselves constantly reacting to him instead of controlling the action. Coaches expected fatigue to eventually slow him down. It didn't. Analysts expected his efficiency to drop under the constant pressure. It didn't. Physical, hand-to-hand defense was supposed to disrupt his rhythm, but Kobe thrived on that disruption. By the mid-2000s, the NBA had already started changing rules to promote more offense. But Kobe had already solved the defensive puzzle under much harsher conditions. His prime bridged 2 different eras of basketball. He scored freely before the league banned hand-checking, and he continued to score freely after the floor opened up with more spacing. His game was adaptable, modular, and utterly ruthless. The emotional contrast was unmistakable. Fans went to games expecting brilliance. They didn't expect to witness inevitability. Opponents came prepared for a battle. What they encountered felt more like an execution. In the playoffs, when the stakes were highest, his efficiency actually rose. Against elite defenses, his shot selection became colder and more calculated, not reckless. He attacked mismatches without a shred of mercy. When the Lakers returned to championship form in 2009 and 2010, Kobe's scoring was finally paired with veteran leadership and an intense defensive commitment, dismantling the old narrative that his dominance was selfish. He finished his career with 5 championships, 2 finals MVPs, a league MVP award, 18 All-Star selections, and over 33,000 points. Yet numbers alone can't explain why no one could guard him. The answer lived in his refusal to rely on a single solution. Kobe didn't need plays called for him to score. He didn't depend on screens. He didn't wait around for defensive mistakes to happen. He created moments where defenders were forced to guess, and against him, guessing was always fatal. His footwork, that silent weapon, forced defenders into reactions that were just half a second late. And at NBA speed, half a second is an eternity. The ripple effect of his game reshaped the league. A whole generation of scorers started studying his movement. The fadeaway jumper returned as an elite offensive weapon. Isolation scoring regained its respect. He challenged the idea that efficiency required simplicity. True efficiency, he proved, could come from complete and total mastery. Defense didn't fail against Kobe because it was weak. It failed because it was facing something that was prepared beyond it. In the final years of his career, as his explosive athleticism naturally faded, the footwork remained. The pivots stayed sharp, the counter still worked. Even then, defenders respected him not out of nostalgia, but out of necessity. In the epilogue of his story, the image remains crystal clear. One player, one defender. The space between them shrinking, feet shifting on the hardwood. A ball rising smoothly, perfectly, just above an outstretched arm. The footwork appears one final time quiet, balanced, inevitable. That is why no one could guard prime Kobe, not because defenders lacked skill, but because he arrived on the court prepared with every answer, long before the question was ever asked. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.